So here we are, we've currently got a very stupid looking animation, which is a crying man which becomes a looking man. So let's just play the movie. And it looks a bit weird because that tear is still bouncing, but what's it bouncing off? So I shouldn't really have used that version of tear. I should remake tear to match looking man. That's weird. Also, crying man, we really need to see a red shirt, because he's got the full red shirt here, but he doesn't have it here, so it looks weird. And just to help hide things a little bit, maybe we can put a table or something in front of him. So let's do that right now. Just going to go back to scene 1, and I'm going to make a new layer called table. That's not how you spell table. And I'm going to put that on top of everything, and I'm just going to lock the other layers. Look at table, and let's just draw a table. I'm just going to zoom out, take the rectangle tool, and draw a brown table. Now I want it to just make it look like he's kind of leaning on it a little bit. Let's have a look at that. Control Enter. Oh, it looks like the tear's bouncing off it quite nicely. Okay, that's not bad. And let's go into Looking Man. How can I get into Looking Man? I've locked the layer. Not Looking Man, sorry, it's Crying Man, isn't it? I want to go into Crying Man and give him some body. I'm going to make a new layer called Body, and I'm just going to draw in a red body. Let's lock all the other layers so I don't get confused. It was red, wasn't it? That's one of the advantages of using. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to break that apart because I have to. Still haven't figured that out. And see if we can fill him in. The answer is no. Let's see why not. Because I haven't joined it. Let's just join that. Break apart. Select it all. And try and fill it. There you go. We'll move it back into place. Whoops. Need to select all of it. And that's the body, which is covering the head. So let's put the body under the head. That's better. Okay. We probably could do with just drawing a couple of lines here to help bring the hands out. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's not too bad. Then he lifts. It still looks a bit, because his shoulders are very wide, aren't they? But Crying Man's shoulders are much, much narrower. Sorry, Looking Man's shoulders are much narrower. Anyway, we'll go with that. Back to scene 1, and we need to start thinking about what happens next. We've got Crying Man, then we've got Looking Man, and then we've got Screaming Man. So Screaming Man is going to start after Crying Man finishes. Sorry, Looking Man finishes. So I'll do an F6 there. Now what is Screaming Man going to look like? Let's just use the onion skin again. Unlock that so we can have a look at the onion skin. That's the position of the head. So I'm just going to start a new head. It's going to look a little bit different. Just a little bit narrower. Like he's looking up to the sky. Going to break that apart. And I'm going to convert it to a new symbol called Screaming Man. And let's go inside Screaming Man. Now, as usual, or as in the last time, I need to get the color of that face again. So I'm going to go to Crying Man, click on the face, unlock, it's the head layer, isn't it? That's the color I want. 254, 78, 78. Okay, back to Screaming Man, this color here, 254, 78, 78. Okay, that's brilliant. Do I need that? Did I have it before? No. Oh, I had it there, didn't I? You can see that there's a borderline there. Let's keep it for now then. Let's keep it for now. So layer 1 is head. And of course we're in Screaming Man. Don't forget that. Now Screaming Man has a nose. And his nose is just like a big black thing pointing up at the sky. Because he's now looking up. So that's Screaming Man's nose. And I'm just going to fill that with a black color. And let's just zoom in on that. And just drag that down a little bit. That's better. Maybe just drag that up. Just there we go. Okay, that's good. Then we've got mouth. Now the mouth is going to be the entertaining bit of this particular part of the animation. Just going to lock all the other layers for a minute. Break that apart. Now then, this mouth is going to be the interesting part to it actually looks a bit happy there, doesn't he? We don't want him to look happy. That's it. Now then, let's convert that to a symbol called mouth, because I'm going to animate it. We'll go into mouth. Should we keep it black? That's not a bad idea, you know. And give him a few teeth. So layer 1 is, so let's just call it black background. Up to you what you call it. Black background, and layer 2 is going to be teeth. And we'll just stick some teeth. I'm going to zoom in to do this, or else it's not going to be easy to do it. See that border? It's got a black border. I'm going to break that apart, and I'm going to delete the black border, because I don't want it. There are 4 lines on that border. And what I'm going to do next, well, we'll do that in a minute. Let's just reshape. That's it. That's not bad, is it? There's one tooth. Go back to the rectangle tool. I don't want the black border, so I'm going to turn off the border color and just go with a white fill color. There's another tooth. Just going to bend that edge if I can. Oh, I've got to break it apart, don't I? I do hope you don't have to break it apart all the time. It is very annoying. Then we'll do it again. Break apart. Thank you very much. It's probably a little bit high, but it's okay. We could zoom in just to really get in there. I'm just going to leave that. And then, whoops, let's just lock the black back layer so I don't get confused. And I should, of course, be saving this from time to time, just in case the power goes out and I lose all my hard work. Okay, just making sure I'm on the right layer there. Break that apart and deselect, and let's lift that up there. Okay, we'll do one more, just one more tooth down here. Not easy to see that I've got to break that apart, but I always do. And we'll just zoom out and see what that looks like. Okay, that's not bad. Now, am I going to give him just a few on the bottom? I think I am. So we'll call that layer bottom teeth. And on this new layer, I'm going to call, oh, that's not bottom teeth, is it? It's top teeth. What am I thinking? That's top teeth. And then I'm going to make a new layer, which is bottom teeth. And bottom teeth, very quickly. Is there any quick way to do this? Let's go to top teeth. Let's control, copy some of these. Go on to bottom teeth layer. Just lock everything else. Bottom teeth layer and paste. And let's just rotate. And make them a bit smaller. Just move them a bit more centrally. Okay, that's not bad. Now between the teeth, it's going to be behind the bottom teeth, but in front of the top teeth. Or should we do it behind both of them? We can do a wiggly tonsil. Let's draw it and see what happens. What I want is a tonsil, and it's going to be red. And I'm going to use the paintbrush, and let's just draw it over here, see if I can draw a tonsil. There you go. I'm just going to break that apart and fill it. And zoom in a little bit here so we can see what we're doing. Just try and move that into place. So it's going to be behind everything except the black background. Don't put it behind that, for goodness sake. Now the positioning, it's just a little bit awkward. I'm not entirely sure what the best position for that is. Maybe somewhere there. And let's animate that. So I'm going to call it tonsil. This is a new library symbol called tonsil. I'm going to go into tonsil, and it's just going to be waving around. So let's just zoom into the tonsil. Now this is an interesting point here. Do you see that? That is the rotation point of the shape. So at the moment the shape rotates around the center of the tonsil. But what I want to do is I want to make this rotation point here. And I'm going to rotate everything from that point. Okay? So let's go to F6. Oh, it's just moved again. I don't want that. I want that to go up there. That's like that. F6. Just want to keep that rotation point. That's not what I want. This is where we have problems. Why can I not move that rotation point? Oh, there it is. We'll do that. Let's just have a look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So this is Screaming Man. Let's just go back to scene 1 for a minute. I want to see what this looks like. So we had Crying Man for 40 frames, and then he stopped. And a new character was introduced, which was Looking Man. We had him for 25 frames, or something like that. Then he stopped, and we were introduced to a new character. And I'm going to keep him, just going to keep him up to 100. A nice round number. I also need the table, so I'm just going to F5 this layer, the table layer. Okay, I don't need it yet. Let's have a look at it. And there he is, he's having a bit of a scream. Okay, so first he's crying, and then he looks up, he looks a bit shocked. What are you? What are you doing here? And then he has a good old scream. So your challenge for the remainder of this tutorial session is to see if you can finish drawing Screaming Man. Think about the shape of his body. What is his hands doing now? Are his hands up here waving in the sky? Are they waggling out here? What are his hands and arms doing? Can we see any of his hair? These are the things that you need to think about as you draw and animate the Screaming Man character. See how you get on. I'll see you in the next tutorial.